Oh boy. So the mister was just talking for the last minute without pressing the go live button. Boo! So if I go to my right and he goes to the left, someone celebrated a special birthday and apparently developed a little dementia.
I forgot how old I was.
Happy birthday, Boo!
And I forgot to hit the go live button.
He was talking and talking, and I was like, wait a second, how come nothing's showing up on the phones? He forgot to say go live. Love you, Boo.
So anyway,
this little munchkin.
Turned 35.
My Rob the Cradle.
Rough week.
Go young or go home.
And then a long night. We've been having problems with YouTube. I think that's why I haven't been able to upload as frequently, but I think we got it hammered down. It was actually my fault, nobody else's.
It's okay. Life happens.
A slight touch of hand where I would upload a video and for some reason it would try and take all week. It was absolutely terrible. But it sounds like when I did something, my resolution was way off. So we fixed it. Apple's been very good to us.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're officially going to, probably in the next upcoming couple of weeks, make the plunge. Patty's Performance is going to really soup things up in the tech department. So that's exciting.
And then
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a tech geek.
So everything's been thrown off. And then what was it? Even our notifications, they've been thrown off too as well. But somehow, some way, William I's notification says, hey man, listen, Ken's going live with James Condon, who's a very good guy as well. And
we normally don't go backwards in the chat, but so Ken, no. And first of all, I love you, but then you don't know Apple. No, there's not 20 grand for a new Apple.
He's being sarcastic.
I know he is. But at the end of the day, the new girl's she's gonna be like a Ferrari. He's gonna be blasting off to YouTube Kingdom on the new one.
So
I'm excited for it.
We were up late last night with Ken's live. I don't even know. I gotta know the time difference. Bruce Pender had more gist than me. I was ready to fall asleep. I was just that tired. So I was a little wiggly wobbly this morning. Usually past my bedtime. But hope everybody's been doing well. I got an interesting birthday gift, so I guess I have to do an unboxing on that. I don't know how I'm going to, move forward with it, but it does pertain to my channel.
He's overthinking it, and I think it'll be a nice addition. I think I'm going to put it to you this way. I think a gift is a gift.
Yes.
And especially when it comes from a thoughtful person, even better. And I think the mister tends to overthink things. So, you know what? We're gonna get content. We're gonna get.
We don't need content like that, but
Hey, why not? Hey, I gotta tell you guys, some of the content that revolves around a product has been some of our best views. So people love content related to reviews of products. So
within reason.
Yeah, people like seeing crap. So we're gonna do that. And I don't know about you guys, but the weather this week, it's gonna change next week. But we are relishing in these 60-degree temperatures. Today is gonna be up to 69.
Yeah, these past couple of days were warm compared to the cold snap that we had. And I was talking to Bruce Pender and James and Ken that we really had a cold snap and it scared people. Not enough to buy a snowblower, but enough for people to start dragging their snowblowers out and trying to get them started. So you guys will be seeing a couple snowblower videos coming down the pipeline. I don't know how I'm going to mix them in. There's going to be snow on the ground, and you guys are going to get one more videos too.
I think we're going to be taking this snow queen out for sure. In fact, I got a little overzealous. Did I run to Home Depot last weekend or the weekend before? The missus, I get a little carried away in the Snap-on Tools winter gear section.
Milwaukee.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Milwaukee section. Well, Snap-on came out with some winter gear. That'd be exciting too. Some more, at least. They have some. But if I go to Home Depot, I like to dabble in the Milwaukee gear. Last year, I picked this man up heated jacket and everything. And that was a nice little touch to your wardrobe. But now they
didn't really get to use it.
That's okay. But now at the end of the day, and believe it or not, they're actually almost completely sold out. They came out with these really great, like a beanie cap, and they came out with a full head suit, like a ski mask, and they can also go under hard hats if you're more on the construction side, engineer side, you go through job sites, but they are like Under Armour. So you could sweat in these, and they cool, they heat, they switch between the two. So I got home and dressed him up like he's my toddler, and we did a little fashion show with the mister. It was great. But I love picking him up all the latest little gear, and he gets so annoyed.
Utterly useless. I said that to her.
So what?
I appreciate the thought.
You know what? I get online, and the guys at Home Depot like literally know me by face, and they're like, "Oh, you're getting your husband all the latest."
Look at this sucker coming in.
And they love it.
Thanks
they
for the
love
sale.
it. You know what? Other husbands have a lot far worse to complain about than their wives. And I'm the same with the tools and all the gadgets. Like when they come out with new stuff, what do I always tell you? You should get that. You should get that. I always want him to have all the latest little gadgets and tools that are out. So I'm down. And no, Ken, footsies, but I'd love to put him in a pair. Maybe Christmas. We'll do a Christmas picture. Oh, hey-oh. How about a live with the mister and I and some matching PJs, maybe some footsies. Remember the good old Dr. Dentons with the plastic feet that you used to sweat in as a kid?
I don't remember any of that.
Oh, stop it. You had footsie PJs.
We did have to shut our water off, so we had a pressure washer for sale, and came across a really fine idiot moron of a seller. So it is what it is. The guy's a complete jerk, and I hate pressure washers because we have to give our home address.
Now, here's the thing, Boo. I understand you using the J word and calling him that. But share with the audience my perception on this guy from point one. What did I think of this guy? Did I think this sale was going down? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, the guy messaged us a while ago about it because how long have we had it for sale? Maybe a month? No, not even a month. No, maybe like 2 weeks. And right off Jump Street, when you list something, you get the bejesus of offers. So this guy was trying to sit there and say that my pressure washer was worth significantly less because on Amazon it's same price shipped to his front door. Well, no, it's not. PSI ratings are different. I was actually pretty nice to him. Sometimes I'm not nice to those people because it's pretty much common sense. If you can't read and write, then maybe you shouldn't be operating a machine, right? I mean, that's pretty simple to me. And lo and behold, I'm at work and I get a message on my phone saying, "Hey, I went to go look at a junk pressure washer. I can be with you within 20 minutes. And the answer is no. I have a thing called a job. I could be home at this time. He says, okay. So I give him the address and he just never shows. Hello, where are you? He says, oh, I had to go home hours later. So that really, really put a salty taste in my mouth. Really. So he was like, well, how about tomorrow? And I says, nope. I'm busy tomorrow. Meanwhile, I don't got time for this guy. So then the next day after, the games just started to play, and then I just had enough of him.
But we should give some background on this Ricky Bobby reject. So I had the item posted on my OfferUp, and the mister had it posted on a different selling site.
Craigslist.
And
he messaged both of us.
Long story short, Ricky Bobby Reject reached out to me first and basically tried to pull that whole line of, I can get this brand new at X, Y, and Z at this price. Basically saying like, I can get this new for like $50 more or 100 more. Speed up the story. We write back to him a couple weeks ago and say to him, that's great. Congratulations. Go grab your new pressure washer. Hey, don't let me stop you. That's a great deal. So he stops dead in his tracks. He clearly knows he's not getting very far. And the communication basically stops there on my end. What I didn't know is the day that this sale was now moving along is that Ricky Bobby Reject reaches out to him. The same day he again reaches out to me, and he allows Ricky Bobby Reject to get it for $50 less than the missus.
Which is fine.
But now Ricky Bobby Reject, he knows from the pictures that he's dealing with the same
It's not
seller.
that hard.
It's not hard to figure out. So clearly now, the Mr., I'm not getting this sale at my price. So now he knows he's going to deal with the Mr. So I know Ricky Bobby Reject is no longer going to message with me. My sale's killed. But I said to him, I don't have a good feeling about Ricky Bobby Reject. He's played this game. I can get this brand new. This was like 2 weeks ago. Ricky Bobby Reject is never showing up. And sure enough, I like to give the benefit of the doubt. So does the Mister.
So do I.
The Mister also knows irrigation company's coming. We're turning off our power washer, our hose and our water.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's have faith the sale's going to happen. When Ricky Bobby did not show up that first day.
He's going to show up and he's not. So when I go to sell something, especially out of the house, I leave no hint or implication about what I do. Because I'm already married. I don't want to be married to somebody else. God forbid something happens. Now, we all know pressure washers are very, very finicky. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are for sale. Mm-hmm. Just like mostly everything, but pressure washers 110% to mishandling. Whether you ran it with no water or whether, you didn't, or whether you locked everything up because you didn't want to bleed the system, or you ruined the pump because you didn't bleed the system and too much air got in the first place. Gas, the whole line. I am not going to be responsible because you don't know what you're doing. So I don't want this person to say, hey, you sold me this pressure washer XYZ ago, and now I'm having problems. And I look at them like, oh, let's talk about,
And just from Ricky Bobby Reject's history, this guy's going to be a PIA. This guy is not going to just buy this thing and never come back again.
So I lost 3 days of a few hours of trying to further get my project pile out of the wind because I work in my driveway, so I can't have stuff in my driveway. Yeah. So I literally have to sit and wait, bated breath, which I can't stand. And,
And my whole beef is always the same. As I tell him, not even with sales, in life, whether it's your kids, your husband, your wife, your sale, we live in a world where there's a cell phone, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, throw a text message, throw an email. Takes 2 seconds. So sorry, can't come today. Day 2 rolls around. Ricky Bobby Reject's supposed to come again. Never shows. Guess what? Don't bother contacting again. It's in storage now. Done. You're done. You know what? Even if Ricky Bobby Reject decided he's going to show up now with a great big old apology, I don't want to sell you this piece of equipment. Because look at your character. You're gonna be the loser who shows up at my front door repeatedly every time there's a problem.
So I was thinking of even just taking a video of it running, and then if anybody wants to buy it, here's a video of it running.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can't test it before you buy it. Once it leaves the driveway, you own it. And I says, forget it. So I'm gonna drain the gas out today.
Yeah.
Let it sit out, and then I'll put it into long-term storage.
Absolutely.
And then but today was just like this week was just whatever. And I had another.
It was highs and lows.
I had another demanding buyer, and he cracked my code. He knew what he did, but just his language and my mood, it just couldn't mesh. And to make a long story short, he just says, listen, I see you have a bunch of lawnmowers for sale. What's the best one you got at the best price? So I says, okay. I have a Toro Super Recycler coming out.
Are we on an interview?
And we know Toro Super Recyclers bring very good money, $400. So I says, I'm not going to run through all the lawnmowers I have for sale. I probably have maybe 5 or 6. And
not to interrupt, Bill, that's exactly what it is. If Ricky Bobby Jr. showed up out of nowhere.
That's why I hate selling it out of the house.
Absolutely not. Nobody wants to be married to a loser. No, thank you. And you know what, Ken? Here's the thing. I'm all about making money. You know me. I didn't even want to. If this guy showed up on day 2, did it not kill me? It killed me that he was selling it for 50. How many times did I say to you, it killed me that we were selling it for 50 less? But I would have done it. We would have done it. But I understood why. But Ken, when
It's
it comes,
very late for pressure washer season. It's
but what
very
did I
late.
say to you? I said to him, I'll help you bring it into storage. I didn't want to cut off my nose to spite my face to sell it to him for 50 less because I knew he was playing both of us. Here's the thing, Ken. We're not rich, we're not poor. But at the end of the day, the Mr. knows.
We
First
have
of
rock
all-
bottoms on everything.
first
It doesn't
of all,
matter how rich or poor you
Allow
are.
me to finish, my love. We're not rich, we're not poor.
No.
But when you're coming to my house and I know you're playing me against my ads, or you're sitting there playing games and I know you're going to be a loser coming back all the time, I don't want your stinking money. And we're not talking an $1,800 snowblower.
It's hot in here. How do you have the heat on 100?
You're hot, baby. Feel free to do what you did with your suit that day. Bottoms down, nothing on. It's not an $1,800 snowblower.
What's wrong with you?
At the end of the day, it's a pressure washer. It's not like $600. I would rather put that in storage and wait for the right buyer next season than deal with him. That's how I feel. At the end of the day, forget your money. I don't want your money. Play games with me like that with my own home.
No, so just to backtrack what he said, being rich, being
Ooh,
poor
is this like
has
is
nothing to
this
do with everything.
striptease YouTube?
Everybody here has a bottom dollar what they'd sell their equipment, and maybe you should think about lowering that here and there. Towards the end of the season. Personally, me, I would not spend $250 on this pressure washer that we have for sale when people are getting their water shut off. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
Craig, so you and I think alike. I like the tactic of I will give you the see, Craig.
That's a good idea.
My big thing is I give you town and I give you zip code, because here's the thing. You're in and out of our town in like 10 minutes. So I don't need to even give you an address in the town. I always give the buyer town and zip code because you can drive in and out of the town, like I said, in less than 10 minutes. So at the end of the day, I always tell the buyer, within an hour of you wanting to come, even a half hour, let me know and I will give you the final address. And that's how I do business, and I have never had an issue with that. I don't do this giving out the home address. First of all, we don't like to do that at all. And I got to be honest with you, moving forward, I get the need for the pressure washers to be sold from the house because of the hookup. But you know what? I almost feel like moving forward, take a nice video of it, FaceTime with the person, not showing your home, not showing your address. And you know what? Show them it's working. You know what? I'll do it if you're feeling a little uneasy and a little uncomfortable.
Show, tell, and sell.
At the end of the day, I don't like this bad taste in the mouth. Yeah. Thanks, Henry. I agree. Like there's really a way nowadays, at the end of the day, we live in a world where if someone wants what you're selling, let's be honest, we have ended the world of the customer's right. We ended the world of it's a buyer's world. It really is. If someone wants what you're selling, they're going to do what you need them to do. So at the end of the day, yeah, here's your video. It's operating. Or here, I'll FaceTime with you. Here, watch me start it. It's as if we're, together while I'm doing it. And this is the address I'm meeting you at. Why can't I come to your home? This is not what the app recommends. They don't recommend meeting at a home. They recommend a public meeting place.
Give people your home address before we
Yeah.
moved away from the home. We would have
Yeah.
just people not show up at all and then show up randomly later.
I'm sorry.
And then they get upset when no one's around. Well, you
Yeah.
missed your time by 1 or 2 hours.
Yes.
We move on with our life.
We live in a world where, let's put it this way, folks, Unsolved Mysteries just came out with a second season on Netflix. If that's still cranking out, I don't feel comfortable with you coming to my home. But anyway.
So back to this guy who was very demanding. So I asked him, what's your budget? Do you want to self-propelled or push? Because, best lawnmower at the best price. My Toro Super Recycler is the best lawnmower at the best $400 price, right? Don't you think so?
Aw, congratulations, Thomas. She's the lucky one. You're a love bug.
Why would why would I try and sell you something cheaper? You can never go up in the negotiation price. So you start high and, you go down. So from there, he says, oh, from there, I just have a front lawn I need to cut, not my backyard. So there goes that idea out the window. So then,
is that fair to say now he wants the cheaper one?
Yep. So then after that, it transitioned into, well, what mowers do you have? And I want model numbers. I'm like, well, I don't do model numbers. You guys know that. I do not give out model numbers. You have to physically come here and you can look at the model number yourself and make your judgment. So I basically said, listen, I'm your neighbor before I'm your salesman. I have a Craftsman and a Troy-Bilt. And as you guys know, I said they're the same mower, just a different paint scheme. So it just comes down to brand preference or the color that you like. So then he was like, why don't you, he's like, why don't you give me a good deal? I says, I don't give good deals. I give fair deals. I said, everything I do is.
Hey, Chris, where are you from? Drop it in the comments.
So I said, basically, I don't do good deals. I do fair deals. Everything I sell is service, and that's factored into the account. And if you're not willing to pay my price, then you could wait, and find something else or somebody else. And he didn't answer me back. He didn't like that. I'm not going to hunker down. Why do you not rent a place on Broadway? Obviously, overhead. I'd rather change something very nice. I don't do a place on Broadway. Obviously, overhead. I like to keep prices down. I had we're talking about snowblower repair. I had a guy who called me, and I keep good notes. And he says, "You fixed this and this over the years." So I just want to double check him. So sometimes when I have repeat customers, I can't remember them all. So I try and have a good background. So I kept very good notes. So I says, "Hey Keith, how are you? It's been 2 years since I worked on your snowblower, your lawnmower, and your weed whacker. What's going on?" And we were talking. And then, listen, so let's talk about prices. He's like, 2 years have passed. What's going on? I says, nah, it's still the same. No worries about it. We'll be in and out. I says, I didn't tune up your snowblower 2 years ago. You're due for a tune-up. He's like, all right, let's do both. So, that's going to be a really good thing. Like you said, you guys are going to be overwhelmed with some snowblower repairs. I do have another customer that you guys talked about, that I talked about when I first started. This guy ran me through the ringer. And we always talk for the longest time what my plan of action is. And I watched a couple other of YouTubers and small engine related, equipment and how to handle certain people and certain individuals. And, for the longest time, we always said that we were going to make him, pay for what he's done. I'm going to chalk it up as a loss. And I should be paying for my mistake and not his, in the sense that he drove me so nuts, so wild in the midst of everything that I did a couple of things for him well under budget, well under price, just the way it is. So, we'll go with that. So should be an Ariens, a Troy-Bilt, and I think I have a Toro coming out. So, we'll see. I'm a little bit behind. I really want to get started on my generator video. So it's going to be good to go. We definitely do have some catching up to do. Work is winding down to a certain extent, at the full-time gig. So I should have a little bit more free time. And I really need to take advantage of this good weather too, because, snow blowers come along, got to start do a little paint here and there. And with cold weather, you really can't do that.
So Chris, why would someone share with someone if it's just a hobby someone's doing on the side? What do you do for a living? Good morning, Bama.
Okay?
Yeah. Good morning, Roger.
Yeah, if you're going to have an attitude.
Good morning, Bama. Good morning, Roger. Good to see you.
Yeah, there's a learning experience. So I watched one YouTuber, and he actually gave some of the worst advice I've ever seen. And it really, really irked me to the point where I wanted to say something. But then I said, you know what? I'm all about constructive criticism. I'm just going to let it go. But believe it or not, the person who gave me really, really sound advice, I watched his video again. Tarot Fixes All. And he basically, says, you should not let a customer pay for your mistake, no matter what it is, even if it includes lack of experience. And I'll chalk up that whole negotiation and work order process as a learning experience. Morning, Matthew. How are you?
Good morning.
We have
Good
been
morning.
missing you all week, so throw Maddie up. If you guys haven't been paying attention to Maddie Olson channel, which is fine, everybody's busy going on. Matthew is an absolute cornerstone in the small engine community, the king of chainsaws, and because chainsaws are 2-cycle, I will even throw up the king of 2-cycle. Matthew's channel has been a little lenient, non-existent, but if you guys missed, Maddie's father passed away, so I just want to say again that we do want to apologize and send our condolences once again. We already done this. We've spoken to Maddie, but I just want to let everybody know as well. Everybody has a lot going on. So Maddie, it's an absolute pleasure to see you here with us. So it'll definitely be it's good to see you back, and hopefully everything is working out and things are doing well. Yes, absolutely. So Pate, here we go. So Pate, you've started to learn at this year. I profited 900 because of this guy. I am happy he shares.
Aww.
Absolutely. So you want to tee off that? I would have never thought to launch a YouTube career without, Henry at Mows and Blowers, who's another green lawn guy who literally lives around the block. But you made me lawn. I said this before, and I'll say this again. Right? Right. His brother is also the neighbor dominator. He has a lawn care channel. This was early in the season. The three of us had a competition who could stripe their lawn in a diamond pattern first. But anyway, You Made Me Lawn started his small engine endeavor in lieu of my channel. And I always tell you guys, we have nice equipment here at the house because I'm up to the point where if I see something nice that I like and I want, I'm going to keep it. You Made Me Lawn went out. Instead of doing that, bought a brandy new, fresh Honda lawnmower with the new color scheme. So it's the dark gray and the black wheels. In my opinion, kind of defeated the channel, but that's what it's all about, right? You did $900 in profit, and then you treated yourself to something really, really nice to water, whether it's used or secondhand, and it didn't hit you in the wallet or pocket. You have to pull any money out of savings, so it's good to go. So you did 900 this year. You're gonna double it next year. It's all gonna be growing. When I started out 3 years ago, I mean, things have just drastically changed, and you're just gonna get a feel for the equipment, the feel for the people, the feel of other flippers in your area that you need to contend with, and go from there. So it's definitely gonna be it's definitely a good endeavor. The American dream is alive and well. Hopefully when you guys watch our channel, we prove that through and through. I mean, you don't have to have a lot to make a lot. You could start very, very little and grow and go from there. So without a doubt, don't doubt anything. Do not doubt yourself. If you have a basic set of hand tools, hands, and a little bit of persistence, you can definitely, do what we do here and grow from there. Like I said, I hate 2-stroke, but I'm getting better at it. I don't have a choice because I have to do it, right? I mean, you can't pass that up. I'm trying not to pass it up. So, without a doubt, congratulations. There's a lot of guys here too. You're talking about, I have a crappy week. I opened up my YouTube channel and I've been getting a lot of hits on my snowblower videos. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. So, it's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah. And I love how the guys are all writing in, for all of us, I think, no matter if we're doing the work or not doing the work, this community's created a hobby, a sideline, friends, a community, a place for all of us to lean on one another. And it's just a wonderful reprieve. It's a great place for every one of us to go. No matter what whether you do small engine work or not, it's a family. It's a family. It's a place to be. It's laughs and jokes and hard times and people that you can lean on during those hard times. And we're grateful for the community. So Chris, welcome to the community.
Absolutely.
And we hope you subscribe.
So Kaja Dog, and he asked, did anybody get any free stuff? We have not gotten any free stuff. Free stuff is very scarce for us, as always.
I think, was I the last one to get something for free?
Oh, that's right.
Is that coming along soon, maybe?
Well, because of everything going on, we've been a little, I'll pump out your video next week. Mrs. Pate's performance dragged home something, which I thought was an oxymoron.
It's magic.
For someone who wants me to get rid of my project pile, and I made a very good effort. You guys see, I made a very to get rid of it. She added to it. So
can I be honest with you?
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing.
It's so hard to pass up something on the side of the road.
So we did get something for free. It's content. I don't mind giving it away, but if I mention it, then there goes the whole purpose of the video. But she did good. She did good. And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. And she was a big girl. She picked it up, loaded it in her car, and on the video I made her do something else. So, you know, it'll be a good video for sure. Definitely interesting. I retired in April to flip mowers as a hobby. Yeah, see, that's what it's all about. See, like you could do this. This is something as a hobby, right? You could do as much as you want or as little as you want, and that's choice to what you do. You know, you go into your job, you got to do what you got to do, and you go home. You could choose to do with your free time. You want to sit around, do nothing, hang out, God bless, or you want to go home, grind a little bit, and maybe later on in life you could have a little bit easier in life because you literally pushed every day when you came home. And you made some smart moves, you know, that's your choice. That's your choice. You know, here's a good individual. You want to talk about my father or another YouTuber, you know, Henry of Mowers and Blowers. Guy's retired. And what does he do all day? Tinker. Bruce Pender, another gentleman who retired. And look what he does. He tinkers, you know, all day long on his own free time. Not a bad thing.
You know, and let's be completely honest with you. I remember when you had first started, I mean, even for us as a couple, we have gotten quite, I love you, Edward. Edward, that's why you're family now. You know, you guys have known our story and the things that we've gone through as a couple. The misters, just take your pants off, honey. Nobody sees you. You know, it's been a journey for us as a couple as far as starting a family and the IVFs and all of that story. You guys have been through those tears with us, and this, I don't know, this little hobby of ours, it's helped us. I want to say also, you know, it's something that brings us closer. I mean, we've gone on pics together and we've done some repairs where I've gotten to be his assistant.
Well, you guys see the video.
We've done videos together. It's also helped to create something that, you know, has brought us even closer as a couple too. And it's fun. We've had some laughs. We've had some times where the mister's been pretty frustrated during a fix. So, you know, it's really so many layers to this that we never thought it was going to be either. And now I think, like, you know, the rest is history. I mean, what it ends up being or not being, there's no stress to it, you know, like it is what it is. And the fun that comes out of it, great, not great, whatever, you know, like I think the best way to sum this up, it's a ride. We're on it for the ride. And whatever comes of it, comes of it. And you know what? Making some great friends along the way, bonus, right?
Mm-hmm. So here, how do you handle people who buy something and they want or expect a warranty? They don't get one. It's a used item. It's as is. But due to COVID and everything what was going on, I had a lot of callbacks. The same day I sold them an equipment or even minutes after. And it was due to mishandling. And usually I would charge for their mishappening, whether they put the wrong gas or bad gas in it, or when they reassembled the machine, you know, in their yard and they didn't put it together right. I coached them through it. You know, COVID was a very stressful time for everybody for a multitude of reasons. I sold a lot of equipment to a lot of people who never should own something like this in the first place. They've never had one. They never thought they would own one, but due to what was going on, they had to make some financial choices. So, you know, I didn't want their first experience in this endeavor to be a negative one. So, you know, this is something that we didn't have to talk about it. We just knew, and I did a video on it too, you know, about our journey through COVID and the issues that we've had. And I featured a lawnmower that I sold the guy and he brought it right back saying it doesn't work. And he put, bad gas, and there would be a fee for that. And I didn't put a fee. So, but COVID has kind of teetered out to a certain extent, and people back into their swing to a certain extent. So that kind of mentality has fizzled out. So we are going to transition and go back to the no guarantee, no warranty. The only time I guarantee or warranty anything is when I do snowblowers and I put a brand new engine on there. Whatever the warranty that engine carries is the warranty that they get, but that's on the engine only. And the other stipulation is, because the engine is guaranteed for 2 years, they must have me service it every year for me to honor the warranty. If they don't have it serviced for the 2 years, then they're on their own after that. They're like, all right, well, you gotta yank it out. You gotta, you have to do all the work yourself. Mm-hmm. So, but if it did happen, then obviously the engine would be free to them at no cost. They would just have to compensate me for my labor. So that's how we work.
And so curious to know some more about you, Chris. Since you're pretty new to our channel, as I shared many times before, my family was very, very heavily involved in the aerospace community. And
well, maybe he knows Uncle Arch.
I was going to say, maybe you've heard of a channel called Arch's Garage. Do you like to tinker yourself? This is a safe place to share with us if you're dabbling as well.
You could be learning.
We'd love to know more about you as well, so feel free to drop a comment and share. I see you skipped a comment that gave the missus some credit. I love that the missus shares interest in what Jason does. Here's the thing. My thoughts on your spouse being into the things that you do. When he first started tinkering on the machines, like I had no clue what this was all about, what he was doing. But here's the thing.
No idea what it would turn into.
No, I had no idea what it was going to turn into. No idea what it was about. But here's what I am a firm believer on, whether you're involved or married or whatever it is. I don't need to fully understand what it is he does in every realm of this. What I do know is the following. He has a talent. If I love the man, I love his skills and I love his talent, and I value all of him. So this is something he not only is good at, but he enjoys. So if you love the man, you love what he enjoys. So I came to learn that if I wanted to have that time with him, that maybe it would behoove me to start to learn a little bit about the skills and what he was doing, because I wanted to have the time with him. And then we started to realize that, like, heck, we could do this, maybe not all of it, but we could do some things together, whether it was the picks, the buying.
So no. So this is Pate's,
and that was kind of fun.
I'll give credit to. She's also a little competitive. I think you guys seen that she is competitive, and she is one of those things where whatever you can do, I can do.
Anything you could do, I could do better.
Yeah, she sings that all the time, especially when she sells something. So as you guys seen at the infancy of my channel, she wanted absolutely nothing to do with it, because even though she wanted nothing to do with my channel, she was still doing stuff behind the scenes. As you guys know, I always worked a lot as is. So in order for us to seal some deals, right, she would have to sell equipment, and that was her introduction. And, and like I said, she's a go-getter. She's very, very smart. I didn't have to tell her that you have to be knowledgeable about the machine. But as you guys know, my ads are very, very well written. So all she had to do was memorize the ad that I wrote, show the person how to start it and operate it, and she would sell it. And then from there, it turned into her buying equipment, dragging stuff home, or finding equipment, dragging stuff home, because she would be happy. It's because then she turned around, she'd be like, oh, wow, this is pretty good, And
it would bother me if I bought equipment home, because he's brutally honest. If I bought something home that he thought was crap, he had no problem telling me, you just dragged home crap. So then I had to start looking at, okay, what was he buying? What was he buying to flip? What kind of engines were good? What kind of lawnmowers were good? Like what kind of equipment was fetching us money? And those were the things I started scouring. Those are the things that I would look for in Craigslist. And then it started becoming the same type of deal. Like we started looking for similar things. And I'd be like, what about this? And then he would give me things like, that's too old. Nope, nope, we can't, we couldn't flip that for what you're thinking. And I just started to lose. The other piece of it is when I would go to sell something, you know me, you guys should know me by now. There's not a cold day in HE double hockey sticks that I'm going to want to go out on a sale and have someone show me up. Ricky Bobby's not going to show me up. So like he said, memorizing the ad, and knowing how to start the equipment to know how it runs, to know how it starts, to know its worth. I had to know it. So at the end of the day, getting to the sale and knowing the equipment better than, and I'll be honest, 90% of the sales that I sell to are men. And they see me come out and they immediately think, I'm going to slaughter her on the price. The minute I open my mouth to know what I know about the machine, and then when they hear me say, would you like me to start the machine for you? And the jaw drops and I start it better sometimes than they do, I'm not going to lie. It's an ego boost. So like, it's a win-win. It's a sale for me. And then I started running into this situation where I don't want lower than what he tells me the machine goes for. He knows that's my other piece. I'm competitive. So if he tells me, Chris, we want 300 for that, he'll always say to me, Chris, as long as you can buy Maddie, as long as you get like 275, I'm happy. He always gives me what his bottom line is, but he knows. What is mama coming home with? I'm not coming home with the bottom line. I'm coming home with 3. Because like he'll always make me feel better by saying I have wiggle room. I don't want the wiggle room.
And they tend not to negotiate with the
I've gotten tips.
female.
I've gotten presents. I've gotten vanity license plate covers.
Creepy.
It's creepy. But
not creepy. It's
it's
just
weird. But we've made this fun. We've made this fun as a couple of two. And in all retrospect, there aren't a whole lot of things that the Mr. can do in the many different things that I do for my side hustles. But whenever he can, he shows up for me. If there's something I need done to make my side hustles work, and even in my job, in my career, he shows up for me as well, the best he can. So it's if you want that power couple thing happening,
two-way street.
It's a two-way street, man. It really, really is. But you know, for me, selfishly, it gives me time with him. And I know for him, it's not the same reason why, but I will take time with him all day, every day. So there's that. Yeah, Ken, there have been some sales where I've come home and he's been like, what'd you get? And I've been like full asking price, and he was 10 minutes late. So so he threw me an extra $10 for being late. Or the time I came home, he goes, what is that? Well, the guy found out I'm in education, so he gave me a vanity license plate. It says teachers rule. He was like, what? Yeah, I've had people offer to go buy me coffee afterwards. Like, I'm like, nope, I'm married. I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's strictly about the sale. Strictly about the sale.
So Lawnmower Detective, we were talking last night. Did you end up sourcing your bolts for your engine?
Oh,
Let us know if that helped.
Yeah.
I had one of those from a divorce. Creepy. Yeah, we don't want to talk about
yeah.
that.
Trust me, there's some creepies.
I do it as a hobby and always put a little fluff in the price. There's nothing wrong with a little fluff in the price, right? But sometimes I put a price and that's it. You know, I don't want to negotiate. And I also put that it's firm.
Lawnmower Detective.
So you don't drag out, conversations. You don't want people to waste your time, because you'll get people who want to ask every question, under the sun. And I just rather not. That's why I think my ads are pretty descriptive, and just trying to cut down on that, Mullet would flip snowmobile work to supercharge my MTD snowblower. Not as of yet, thanks, sir. Well, hopefully you use the advice that you got from us, and you can get that going. Take your old bolts, bring it to the hardware store. I don't know where you're from, but we have a Home Depot, Lowe's, and they actually have a thing on like a board where the fasten rack is, and you could screw your bolt in there so you know your thread and your pitch. So all you need to do is just match, the length. I give my kids and I tell them to give them $10 to cash the check. Can't deal with banks.
Aw. So today, one of my hopes, because we're supposed to get up to almost 69 degrees. So
the garage.
I am hoping, so Ken, you'll appreciate this, because this was something that I can't even tell you how long we've had this. Ken, you and I think a lot alike. Like, remember when we had the misplaced Belgian block? That bothered me as much as it bothered your soul. And now we also have a weather stripping issue around the garage that has been an issue for, my Lanta, too long. But just for the record, I went myself to Home Depot with the truck, and I picked up the weather stripping. We are now on 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I've had the weather stripping and the tacks and all the things to fix it. I've watched all the videos, but I got to be honest with you, I didn't feel comfortable doing it solo. But my squeeze over here has yet to want to do it with me. So today, it's going to be a beautiful day. And so at the end of the day, we are making the magic happen on that, because I said to him, at the end of the day, you get that done. That's also going to help with the draft that we're getting in that garage and the rain that's coming in. And if we get that hydro table thing assembled, that'll be great to get out of my foray as well. Why not do it when it's 69 degrees outside,
today's
right?
Gonna be a beautiful day.
It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Sure. Absolutely phenomenal.
I just want to send Ken something. Hold on.
Let me see here. I can't see it. Someone is going to take someone to breakfast.
No, she actually makes breakfast every day after every live. After a live, she makes a nice spread. She makes a nice spread. She makes too much, so I end up bringing it to work for some of the guys to eat as well. We're sharing. We're sharing.
What do I do for a living? So I'm in education, and I teach the littles. And I also have administrative, leadership roles as well. And I am in the path to, the goal is a doctorate in administration.
Be the first doctor in the family.
So yeah, it would be Dr. Pate.
Quite an accomplishment.
So right now, William, I have a total of 9 degrees. Everything from general education to special education to reading specialties to psych analytical degrees. You name it, I hold it. And so, yes, the goal is to finish up a doctoral degree in administration. Life kind of gets in the way of that. And also, I have for 14 years as well, now actually 2 weeks ago, 15 years, I also have ran a very successful remediation teaching company outside of school. And I actually been doing it very remotely now that we're in this whole COVID situation. And I have 2 teachers that I actually can divvy out cases to. So some of my lower scale cases, I have some newer teachers that take those cases on for me outside of school. And I do the higher end cases myself. Those are my longer lasting clients. And then I also have.
Yes.
Yes. And then I also have an LLC for another company that some of you have also, maybe your wives have delved into, Young Living. And that is really on its way to doing extremely, extremely well. So I'm proud of that little nest egg as well. So I have quite a few endeavors that I'm always dabbling in. We just had this talk last night. We're both firm believers on having something. I mean, we're both going to retire with a beautiful pension, thank God. And we're both going to have, he's big into stocks. But I also believe on having something that is going to repeatedly keep paying you over time. And one of my side businesses is just like that. It's kind of like this YouTube thing. The way that one of my side businesses works is once you keep establishing that business, it's a legacy. So it keeps building and building and building while you're developing it. And then once I stop, it actually can be left to an heir or a spouse, and it just keeps paying over time. So it's something that I keep hustling and grinding at, because that's as well going to be a nice little nest egg, and it actually is paying us now over time. So I am big on investments and hustling hard. And William, you know what? It's not easy. There are times that we're both a little pooped, but at the end of the day, it's kind of exciting if you put in the work. What that can lead to. And here's the thing, we just said it the other day, anybody can do it. Some of the things that we're doing, I have someone in one of my side businesses, she's 62, and she's still hustling at this one side business, and she has got a nice little nest egg on top of a pension, on top of all these other little side things that she's doing. And you just gotta want to do it. Like, I hate when people say like there's nothing available out there for people to do. You just have to like find it. You just gotta do it. So yeah, it's hard work. But I gotta be honest with you, for me right now, besides all these little adventures that I'm on and he's on, with these side hustles, establishing the family piece is so huge to me right now. That's the personal goal. That's the personal goal. And I hate that it's the one thing that is so out of our control right now. Oh, makes me so mad. But anyway, so yeah, I see Franco, the boss, is in the house.
So we're talking about,
Hi, Franco.
So we're going to talk about, it's never too late to start whatever you want to do as your endeavor. Here's Franco, probably the youngest person that I know doing what we do to a certain extent, still in high school, still holds a full-time job outside of high school, and then does, his side hustle as well. So it's never too early. It's never too late to start. I think with mentalities like Franco, an hour mindset and other similar hours, like I said, when you get older, you're going to reap the rewards that you sow if you play, your cards right. And that's what we're going to. My father retired at a very young age, and, every day is Sunday for him. So, that's going to be our goal. That every day is going to be Sunday for us. Bruce Pender. Every day Sunday for Bruce Pender. Every day Sunday for Henry Moses Blowers. And, it happens to be that, Bruce Pender loves tinkering with small engines, and Henry's the same day too. So they get to live their dream at their leisure any day, anytime, they want to, compared to what we're at now. And people like Franco, Ken Small Engines and Bill Martini, we have to clock in our 40, 60, 80 hour work week, and then come home and do what we can with the time that we have, and, go from there. And obviously the way this has progressed from just being busy, what we do here at the house, transitioning to YouTube as well, our downtime has taken a cut and changed. So our downtime is a little bit different than what, it used to be, but there's nothing wrong with that. And we agree. This is not our schedule right now that we're putting in it's not going to be forever. As we get older, our bodies can't handle it. We were talking, she makes fun of me. The other day I was playing video games just to relax. I fell asleep with the controller in my hand.
I also must admit, because I'm a firm believer that you do have to have a little bit of downtime the other day, to be honest with you. Last year, was it last year, honey? Last year was the first year that I actually said to him, that's it. We're not big on going away on long vacations or anything like that, but I said to him, we're going to start going away on like long weekends. And last year we did. We took quite a few little long weekend trips. And they were just so refreshing, and they were nice, and it was nice quality time together, and we had great, and then COVID happened this year. So there's that, but that was our sacrifice for each other, was those long weekends, and people will say, oh, but you got to have, you know, a weekend here in Jamaica, and you got to go to Barbados for 2 weeks, and
Not my style.
That's not really our style.
Well, you like to go away.
But I said to him, I said, I like to go away. Like, we did a lot of like 4 or 5 day, like little getaways, like long weekend getaways. You know, and I discovered a little nest that we loved to go away to last year. That's more like becoming my thing. We do have a long-term plan. I still have family in Italy. And so he promised a long-term plan. I think, you know, in 5 years to go back and see family and to visit, because I would love to visit back. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place, but you must go for a couple of weeks. So at the end of the day, that is the plan. But the Mr. knows my famous saying is, if you're working just your 9 to 5, that's fine if that's all you want. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you're complaining or you're jealous of everything everyone else has around you, then stop yourself right now.
You could change that.
Because you can change that. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you're upset about what everyone else has around you, then a 9 to 5 is not enough. And we live in a world now that if you have some kind of skill, any skill, you could work and do something for yourself. You could have a little side hobby. You could do a little side hustle. Heck, look at this YouTube world that we're living in right now. You could the sky is the limit, but it's not going to all of a sudden when you get home from your 9 to 5 fall in your lap. You have to do the work. So at the end of the day, think about what you want and think about if you're willing to put the little bit extra to go the extra mile. Mm-hmm. And right now we want that. And I got to tell you, we've been told by friends, by family, you work too hard. You don't stop enough. You don't take enough vacation. You need to stop. And you know what? Last year we listened and we took those little weekend getaways. And once COVID is over and things, we can go between states and whatnot, we'll start to do our little weekend getaways as a couple again and whatnot. And that's what works for us. We're happy with that. We feel good making the extra money. Always do what works for you, not what works for everybody else around you.
Heck, I bought and sold a bicycle this year. I never bought and sold a bicycle in my entire life, but if it involves money, why not? Right? Positive movement, positive progress.
Yeah.
Honestly, the jobs I fear seem easy once I do them and don't procrastinate. Of course. Especially when you're doing certain things for the first time. I mean, listen, by the time when I open up a generator for the first time, I'm going to be like, whatever. So you're going to have to rely on other YouTubers and just whatever you've learned over the time working for things and, to pull yourself through.
Casey, amen.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And Casey, guess what the best part is? She's her own boss. You don't have to sit there. Remember the days where people used to say like, oh my God, I need to make a little extra money past my 9 to 5. I better run out and get another job. I better run up to Home Depot, or I better get a gig at Stop and Shop, or you don't have to. In this world that we're living in now, it doesn't have to be. Thomas Andrews, mwah, love you. Have a good rest of the day. It doesn't have to be that. There are so many things that are available over this internet world. The skills that you guys have, you could be your own boss doing your own thing. You could sell things over the computer. You do YouTube. You could do Etsy. You could do Craigslist. There's so many opportunities that you could make the money doing your own work from home. And Casey, you just nailed it on the head, brother. It feels damn good. When you can sit there and have a little extra to pay off the bill, if we're being transparent right now, some of the side hustle right now, our goal, debt free.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Debt free.
Always the goal.
I want no debt. We want no debt. No overhanging debt. And honestly, we both have the goal. It's a lofty one. At some point, once we're debt free, if we can make this house debt go away, that'll be the next thing we chisel away at. You know what? And we're only 7 years into this house, so we've got our time ahead of us. And Long Island's an expensive place to live. But you know what, Casey? Whether it's paying for the holiday meal, whether it's paying off a little bill, whether it's you're able to turn around and your spouse needs an extra tool, it feels damn good to turn around and not rob Peter to pay Paul to have to pay for it, right? I just wish more people could sit there and turn around and see the things that you guys are doing.
That's exactly what Tarot said.
Let's see. I don't want to say how much I make, and these chats are YouTube because Iris, we want. Yeah, Henry, I hear you. You got to be careful. You got to be careful about what you're saying you make, and you have to be careful about, again, everything's a hobby, right? But the bottom line is, without sharing numbers, without sharing what we do, without sharing too much, the bottom line is there's options. There's options without you having to walk into a major realtor, a major department store, a retail chain. You could be your own boss on the side. You could manage how you're making your money. BS, Brando, absolutely. You know how many people I hear? You could watch. There's babysitting. There's flipping. There's flipping. You know how many people I know? I know a woman right now who's doing extremely well. Her and her husband are doing it together. Actually, let me take that back. They find pieces of furniture and they're restoring them. So they look on Craigslist like you're looking for equipment, and they restore these pieces. Her and her husband, back to somewhat of their natural glory. Some of them are not antique pieces whatsoever. And then they're reselling them for a profit right from their home. And I got to tell you, it's a beautiful thing. And it's a side business for them. But I got to tell you, it's money they didn't have before. And they're doing it together. And it's on their own time. And nobody's telling them how to run it. That's the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. You're your own boss. You decide. But that can also be the tricky part, right, guys? Sometimes you come home from working that 9 to 5, you're exhausted.
Yep.
And so part of it's motivation. Getting yourself out there to work in the garage or the driveway or the basement, wherever you're doing your gig. And it's hard. The mister saw this week. I had to get home, and he saw me fly into the house, and I was working remotely when I got home from my 9 to 5, and he saw my eyes were like burning. I was so tired, and it was like I had an opportunity. I could grind it out almost all night working, and I did it. I did it because I was like, who knows if this opportunity will be here next week, right? You take it. And sometimes he needs the motivation too, right? Like you work both ways. Like that's how motivation is. You got to motivate each other. So
you go through spurts. You really, really do.
And you know what? Also be easy on yourself. There's been a few times where myself, like the other night, his birthday night, I had an opportunity to make a little bit of money. And I said to him, babe, I know you're going to tell me to do it. I just need a break tonight.
Yep. She's like, I'm not going to tutor. I said, okay, don't. You do whatever you want.
I said, it's your birthday. I said, and I'm crying. I'm so tired. Now, and there's been a few times where he probably knew he needed to be out in that garage. And he's like, I'm playing Xbox right now. And I'm like, you need to relax. Like, you need to stop. Do it, man. Do it. It's hard. it's great being your own boss, but it's hard as heck. It's hard as heck. But you work through it. You work through it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
You work through it.
Absolutely.
You work through it.
So it's been over an hour, way past our bedtime.
It's been a great hour.
Okay.
Bedtime. What are you talking about?
Going back to bed. Ken wore me out last night. Thank you guys for having us. A couple of new faces here. Kaiser Dog, I didn't even get to give you a wake-up call. Thank you for having here. Enjoy your free lawnmower. Congratulations. Free stuff, like I said, is dying out. Hopefully we'll maybe get a couple of free snowblowers. We'll see. She gave me the go-ahead to buy a snowblower for the channel, and I've just been kind of dragging my feet on it. But, with that being said, continue to take care of each other. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Stay out of it. Continue to love one another. Continue to help one another. And just have a wonderful weekend. I really thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Whatever you're doing this weekend, smile, because you never know what's promised, the next day.
And from the missus to all of you, thank you for making my little birthday munchkin always laugh. Thank you for supporting him this week, for this year. Every year that I get this man in my life, it's a good year. And I thank God for you. So, happy birthday. And thank you all for celebrating another year with Pate's Performance, the real Pate's Performance. And here's to help me to give him all the good wishes for a bright year ahead, for another year of wonderful Pate's Performance. And yes, Ken, let's enjoy that weather and let's go wrench.
All right, guys. Later.